Hey guys, welcome back to Limit Breaker Fitness. Monty here again. So today I want to talk about why are we so good at storing fat, and also why do our bodies want to store it right around the midsection? Well, it all comes down to hundreds of thousands of years ago. How many? Not exactly sure. I was not good at history ever. I was a biology major actually. I don't know if I told you guys that. I got my degree in biology, and that's why I know all this crap. But anyway, hundreds of thousands of years ago, we appeared on this planet, and when humans first appeared on Earth, we did not have the skills and the knowledge necessary in order to farm our food or to raise cattle or anything like that we do nowadays. So we were hunter-gatherers. We would travel around from place to place looking for food. Now what that often meant was we would go days, maybe even weeks, without finding anything to eat. So in order to be able to get through those times where we did not have any kind of sustenance available to us, our bodies learned how to store fat, because those people who could store fat and could store it efficiently, they had a much higher survival rate than those who didn't, especially when we had to deal with things like cold winters and famines and things like that. So anyway, that's why our bodies really like to store fat, because it wants to keep the energy for when it needs it later on. Now, the drawback for us today in modern times is how should I put this? Food is so much more accessible these days, at least for most people. Some parts of the world it's not, and it's unfortunate, and we're not going to talk about that right now. That's a whole nother discussion. But anyway, food's much more accessible these days, and especially in the last 50 to 60 years, it's also so much more calorically dense than it has been historically. And our bodies, they don't really know it. They just realize, hey, I need the energy. I want to store the energy. I want to store the energy. That's why whenever we're in a surplus, we store fat, because our body wants to be prepared for a time when we might not have access to food the way we do now. And that's why our bodies, over time, they learn to store fat and get better and better at it. Now, the reason why our body likes to store fat around the midsection, and for women, the midsection and in the thighs more often than men, we tend to just kind of get a beer gut, even if we don't drink beer. I don't drink beer because I'm a baby Anyway, maybe I should edit that part out. But anyway, it's all about energy conservation. Just like why we store it, the location we store it is also important. By storing it in the midsection, it takes us less energy to move around. If we were to store it in our limbs, it would be so much harder for us to move around. It would take so much more energy to move around, and it just kind of defeats the purpose. So that's why we store it at the midsection first, and that's where we lose it last. It's just, the whole thing is about energy conservation. So I hope that made sense for you guys. I had a much longer video about this. I decided to condense it down. If something doesn't make sense, go ahead, drop me a comment, and maybe I'll do a follow-up video or explain there. As always, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Like I said before, I'm trying to be here for you guys very often. And don't forget to head on over to www.limitbreakerfitness.com/shop. My free training program's up there. And I also got a meal plan for you with 28 recipes that'll help you battle evolution, you know. All right, guys. See you next time. Bye.